Good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing well this beautiful, beautiful Thursday morning. Oh man, it is like almost the end of the week. We're loving every bit of this. Here's some live in 24 minutes ago, so not live at 12:50 a.m. No. Cynthia pointed it out to me. She sent me a message. I don't know, it was around midnight last night. Said, "Are you supposed to be going live?" And not sure about this. And I looked, and I'll be damned if it didn't say that was going live at the wrong time. I don't know. Like I said, happens whenever you reboot your entire computer. I mean, whenever I say reboot, I mean I wiped that thing clean. I removed every single app, program, game, device, whatever, because I was having problems with the sound, and I hope I got it a little bit better today. The plan. So I hope it did good. Thursday is the true hump day. Oh, that's right. Damn. Morning. Everyone, Mr. Otter said he's forcing everyone to listen as he drives. Oh, good. That's good. Good to see you, Star Otter. I'm glad to see you. Oh my gosh, everyone. Morning, everyone. Morning. 6:31. Good morning, Cynthia. Thank you again. Hey, JD fan, good to see you. Let's go, Brandon. Thursday is the true hump day. Everyone now has a reasonable chance of getting to the weekend. You invited Hillary over? No, who's Hillary? Good morning, Roxanne. Good morning. Oh my gosh. So, of course, the news today. I told you guys this was going to happen. Told you what was going to happen. U.S. arrests at Mexico border expected to drop 30% in July to a new low for Biden's presidency. It goes like that whenever you don't report on things. San Diego. Oh, in San Diego, the arrests. Now this is different. This is different than the amount of illegals coming across, because the arrest of illegals crossing the border to the United States from Mexico plummeted about 30% in July, and to a new low for Biden's presidency. Raising prospects that a temporary ban on asylum may be lifted soon. The U.S. border continued making arrests Wednesday, the last day of July, but the monthly tally was expected to be around 57,000 illegals when all are tallied, down from 83,536 illegals. That was a previous low mark of Biden's presidency, according to the U.S. Customs Board. How about zero? That would mark a low. How about negative numbers of illegals crossing the border? They go back. Still thinking trebuchets work really well for that. The previous low mark, and of course, because these figures had not been released publicly. I wonder why. They don't want you to know how bad it is. The AP, on the condition of anonymity, because figures had not been released publicly, it would be the lowest tally since 40,000 in September of 2020, when the coup slowed. It didn't slow anything. He didn't slow the spread. You didn't slow the coup. He didn't slow anything. I was messing with a bunch of people this week. Yeah, I'm used to it. Good morning, Betsy. Good morning. I am not surprised StreamYard is messing with people, including the United States, even before Biden's administration invoked powers to suspend asylum on June 5th. June 5th? What happened on June 5th? Oh, that's right. Arrests had fallen about half. Record high of 250,000 in December. See, they're not releasing the numbers, or they're fudging the numbers, or they're screwing with the numbers, because it's easier to do that than tell you the truth. Helping the White House fend off attacks. Oh, by Donald Trump. Get it. I got it. It's because Donald Trump was hammering you on all of these. So if you don't report it, oh, nothing really happened. There's a volley of ads launched Tuesday underscores the prominence. Yeah. So guess what? Guess what? The news media knows what the ads are going to look like months ahead of time. This is where Trump is going to attack you. So here's what you need to do. You think maybe the news media might be in on it, under-reporting, over-reporting certain things, under-reporting others. It launched its first national television ad of the general election cycle, dubbing Harris as the border czar. Well, blaming her for the surge in illegal crossings, yeah. After displaying headlines about crime and drugs, she's failed, weak, dangerously liberal. Of course, Harris ad post online highlights Trump's opposition to all of that. There's two choices in election: the one who will fix our broken immigration system, and the one who is trying to stop her. The narrator says, the asylum halt, blah 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 blah. Don't care, because it's pretty easy to show that you have. What's this? Biggest declines have been nationalities that are easiest to deport, including Mexicans, but people from other countries are showing up less as other travel restrictions take hold. What? Huh? So it's other countries that stop shipping Chinese over here? Wonder how that happened. Yeah. Yeah. This is oh, and expected today that this is going to happen. Harris is going to be the sole Democrat candidate heading into the party vote. Why would that be? Well, she's the only hopeful who is qualified to compete. Why is that? No one plans to challenge her because they're just clearing the path for her to seek her party's nomination uncontested. Just Harris will now face a vote by the party's national convention delegates who will officially ratify the nominee, a new online voting procedure adopted by the party last week. Oh, amazing how they did that just last week, isn't it? The voting weekend Thursday conclude on the 5th. Votes for anyone other than Harris will be tallied as present. Oh, see, it pays. It pays to do things crooked. You too can become a politician. All you gotta do is just wear some new knee pads. Under party rules, new rules. Yeah, they passed some new rules. A candidate qualifies to compete for the nomination by submitting a notarized declaration of candidacy. By meeting legal requirements to be president and securing signatures of at least 300 delegates with no more than 50 from any one delegation counting towards the 300 minimum. Despite the early vote to select nominee, delegates will convene as planned. So it was, like I said, dog and pony show. She already knew that this was going to happen. It's a coup, of course. That's exactly what it was. Well, you think anybody wanted her? What, you think it's over? You think your fight's over on this? You trust your election process too, I guess. Uh-huh. Okay. All right. We'll see. Like I said, they already know who the winner's going to be. They already know they're going to put in there. They know who's going to be propped up. What it takes for them to win is going to be historic. You will see that the most hated candidate ever on either side going to have the most votes you've ever seen. Seriously. You think I'm joking? You think that I'm making fun here? No. Sweet people, if you have this hope that Donald Trump is going to win in November, yeah, I don't have her cackle. Don't have her cackle. That's why it would be so important for people to get out and vote, like in numbers that are unprecedented, where it makes it physically, literally impossible for them to show that person winning. Because if it comes out in where there's just not even enough votes to secure it, you're going to see something you've never seen before in your lifetime. You've only read about in stories. Good morning, Miami. Good morning, Zach. Good to see you. It'll get much worse than you have ever seen. All it takes is that one thing happening, and where it's undeniable. Just saying. I have to be careful with my words because they have certain things that they don't like you saying on the YouTubes. But hey, not going to be pretty. It's not going to be pretty. So let's see what they have to say about Trump. We've read about what they're going to do there. Let's look at this. Trump's appearance before black journalists leads to a memorable confrontation with ABC's Rachel Scott. Okay. Primarily due to sharp questioning by ABC News correspondent Rachel Scott, former President Trump appeared before a gathering of black journalists turned remarkably contentious on Wednesday. Scott pressed Trump on past statements about black leaders, his support of January 6 rioters and diversity hiring, leading the former president to repeatedly complain about how he was treated. She was very rude. Trump's appearance at the meeting of the NABJ. That's funny. Was dripping bad vibes from the start. Some members objected to him being his invitation to address the group in the first place, while others said it was their obligation as journalists to question him. On stage panel with Trump's questioned by Scott, Fox News channels Harris Faulkner and Smifordigladi was delayed more than half an hour due to technical issues. And specifically cited several statements about black leaders in the past. Now that you've been asking black leaders to vote for you, I don't think I've ever been asked questions in such a horrible manner. You know what? Instead of reading, if this is close, camel toe will win. Trump needs a large margin of victory, like having to play the refs and the other team. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. It has to be such a large contingent of people that show up that it puts to rest any idea that it's within 100,000 votes, 1 million votes. We're talking where the majority of Americans come out to vote. They sit down, they cast their tally, whatever it might be. Living, dead, whatever, and have those votes cast and tallied in a show of how great this country can be if you just get that way. But we've had enough of the silliness. This is gonna be good. we've had enough of the silliness. I'm going to show this because you're going to see the way that people behave in the most despicable way. And it's just not very long, but the questions right out of the gate, you tell me, is this a good representative of the way that you would talk to a presidential candidate? Is this what you would do if you were a journalist? If you had that rare opportunity to sit down and talk with a current sitting president. Say for example, you had the opportunity to sit down and talk with Joe Biden, although you probably wouldn't understand half of what he said and you'd have to hide your children. But if you had that opportunity, would you show him disrespect? Would you just be all up in his grill and start laying into him? Or would you talk to him like a human being? Just curious. I mean, I know how I would act if I had an opportunity to sit down with someone like Joe Biden and talk with him. I would probably ask him some serious questions, but I also wouldn't act this way. Just keep this in mind. Keep this in mind as we show you this.
We all bring to our newsrooms and workplaces every day is the same professionalism that is maintained in this arena. Please welcome to the stage ABC News senior.
If you have to say that ahead of time, then you've got a lot of people that have started some garbage. That means that somebody has been starting crap, and they're ready to they're fixing to fight.
Your congressional correspondent Rachel Scott. Semaphore political reporter Kadia Goba. And anchor of the Faulkner Focus and co-host of Outnumbered on Fox News, Harris Faulkner.
So, three women right now on stage. Not a single man in sight. Just noting it, that's all.
NABJ. Mic's on? Hear me? There we go. Test. Good afternoon, NABJ, and welcome to a conversation with former President Donald Trump. This discussion continues a decades-long tradition during election years of inviting journalists to discuss the policies and their impact with the candidates who are running for president, and the impact of those policies, especially in Black communities.
Really? So why can't it just be journalists? If you say that ahead of time, it's going to be bad. Oh, I know it's going to be bad. I'm expecting it to be bad.
Former Presidents George W. Bush, Barack Obama, and Bill Clinton have attended the NABJ conventions either as presidents or as presidential candidates in past years. NABJ is currently in conversation with Vice President Kamala Harris's team to schedule a Q&A either in person or virtually in September. As journalists, we use opportunities like these both to inform our reporting, but also to help voters understand the choices that they face in a consequential and historic election year. NABJ has partnered with PolitiFact to fact-check this conversation in real time. You can access that feed on social media using the hashtag NABJFactCheck. Again, the hashtag is NABJFactCheck.
She say fact check? What? Okay.
We have a lot to get to, and we do not want to waste any time. So let's bring out the former president of the United States, the Republican nominee for president, former President Donald Trump.
Oh, you sons up trying to get me in trouble with music. A fact check. Yeah, that's what I said. Fact check. So, you got to fact check them. Let me mute the. I just have to remove it because of the music for a second. So give me just a second. I'll be right back. I'll bring it up as soon as the music's over. He comes in. He says, "How are you? How are you? How are you?" All right, so they pumped in the fight music as he walked in. Couldn't be proud to be an American. Had to play a little bass drop there.
Mr. President, we so appreciate you giving us an hour of your time. I want to start.
Oh, he doesn't give him an hour of his time. Trust me on that. I'm looking right here, and well, it might be an hour, but it doesn't feel like it. Because we're already an hour and 48 minutes into it. Looks like he gives them about 30 minutes of his time.
Start by addressing the elephant in the room, sir.
Oh, right here is where she's going to start laying into him. Let's address the elephant in the room. I'm sorry. Is Hillary here? Oh, what? That's what I said.
A lot of people did not think it was appropriate for you to be here today.
Really? Why would you say that? Would that be because a lot of people think that he might be a racist or something? Oh, no. No, because he doesn't kowtow to you and try to be, all up in your grill. Like, just saying.
You have pushed false claims about some of your rivals.
Okay. And your point? Because what, you're gonna try to fact check me in real time? Sweetheart. Are you telling me that whenever Harris stood up on stage and called Joe Biden a racist, that was appropriate? Okay.
From Nikki Haley to former President Barack Obama.
Oh, yeah. So they're going to get into, you're not from this country. Lady, why don't we talk about something more appropriate about what I do, what I've done, my prior history, instead of the things that you've heard me say? Isn't she fat shaming when she's using that elephant in the room comment? I guess so. I mean, maybe she's talking about one of her co-hosts. I don't know. I mean, right now they're working on their pitches to get that big. I gotcha. Watch how craftfully Trump handles this. Just pay attention. You'll see.
Saying that they were not born in the United States, which is not true. You have told 4 congresswomen of color who were American citizens to go back to where they came from.
Yes. But why don't you put that into context? If I'm not mistaken, Ilhan Omar used a lot of her bragging rights that she was an immigrant. She became an American citizen, supposedly. And she wanted to basically bring in rules from her country, like Sharia law, into effect into this country. Okay. And he said, if you don't like the freedom in the United States, take your ass back to whence you came. So tough titty. See, all of this matters none whatsoever. So if we take back, we look back at previous statements that Biden said, oh, wow, you guys wouldn't hammer him on that. Why don't we talk about previous statements that Camel Toe has said? Oh, no, we won't go into that. So what's your point? What is the purpose of this? But he's going to handle it well.
You have used words like animal and rabbit to describe black district attorneys.
What are you saying? They weren't animal and rabid? Huh. And what words have you used about him? You've used words like misogynistic, racist, all these other kinds of things that in polite society probably would have got you punched in the mouth. And take it out of context. So much for being cordial and talking about what matters to the American people. Of course. Oh, it's this mudslinging that you're doing. Oh, woe is me. What, you're not strong enough to handle a few words that are critical of you? Okay, well.
You've attacked black journalists, calling them a loser, saying the questions that they ask are, quote, stupid and racist.
Yes.
You've had dinner with a white supremacist at your Mar-a-Lago resort. So my question, sir, now that you are asking black supporters...
Now they're going in on Nick Fuentes that wasn't even invited. See, he didn't invite Nick Fuentes to Mar-a-Lago, and he threw them out of there whenever Nick Fuentes started in on his racist shit. Of course, they don't talk about that, but he didn't invite Nick Fuentes there. He invited the artist formerly known as Gay, or now known as Gay, or whatever. That's who he invited. Or Ye invited himself, and he had a conversation with him and didn't know who even the hell Nick Fuentes was. So that sort of shoots your whole theory out of the water. Because right now, all they're doing is going after Trump to say he's racist again. Ooh, and Biden? Oh, yeah, but Shizzy, those labels are true. Okay. We'll see. Oh, and Biden? Yeah, well, we won't talk about him.
To vote for you, why should black voters trust you after you have used language like that?
Well, first of all, I don't think I've ever been asked a question so in such a horrible manner. First question.
Sir is her way of saying fuck you. Oh, we work in customer service. So I recognize that, which I use about every day. I don't know about who Nick Fuentes is. Heard the name, no idea. Well, he is, Nick Fuentes is one of those that what do they call them? There's a name for it. It basically means that they couldn't get laid if they tried. See, I think he's just a shill that's being paid to be there. I mean, I really have heard him speak, 2 or 3 times? And most of the time it's just ridiculous. But Trump, like I said, he handles this so beautifully. Oh, yeah, it's beautiful.
So in such a horrible manner, first question. You don't even say, hello, how are you? Are you with ABC? Because I think they're a fake news network, a terrible network. And
you hear the crowd?
I think it's disgraceful that I came here in good spirit. I love the black population of this country. I've done so much for the black population of this country, including employment, including opportunity zones with Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina, which is one of the greatest programs ever for black workers and black entrepreneurs. I've done so much, and and I say this, historically black colleges and universities were out of money, they were stone cold broke, and I saved them, and I gave them long-term financing, and nobody else was doing it. I think it's a very rude introduction. I don't know exactly why you would do something like that. And let me go a step further. I was invited here, and I was told my opponent, whether it was Biden or Kamala, I was told my opponent was going to be here. It turned out my opponent isn't here. You invited me under false pretense. And then you said, you can't do it with Zoom. Well, where's Zoom? She's going to do it with Zoom, and she's not coming. And
Oh, wow. Not the way that's been reported. Huh. He sounds like a waste of time. Yeah. I'm not looking him up. He is a waste of time. Trust me. So he's like, so I was told that Biden was going to be here. And then I was told Camel Toe was going to be here. And guess what? They're not here. Why? What happened? So you got me here under false pretenses, and I show up, and then you start being rude to me right off the bat. So what is the news reporting about this? Because the news has so much more to say. See, right? Yeah. What do they have to say? Huh? Oh. Let's see. They're saying, oh, she was very rude. That's all he said. No, he said a hell of a lot more. Oh, some of the objectives of the Republican candidate being there in the first place. Oh, and the congressional reporter. Oh, now that you're asking black voters to vote for you, why should black voters trust you after you use language like that? And he's just like, the opening haymaker was recently reminiscent of his first campaign debate in 2016, where Megyn Kelly brought up things he said about women. Does this sound to you like a temperament of a man we should elect as president? See, it's all a big got you. And Scott then asked whether Trump backed supporters who suggested that his opponent was a DEI hire. And yeah, she is. She's a diversity hire. And nothing will prove it more than like today or next week, whenever she does her virtual Zoom and gets the election, or gets her nomination. Oh, did I misspeak? I think we've given too much away.
And then you were half an hour late. Just so we understand, I have too much respect for you to be late. They couldn't get their equipment working, or something
Mr.
was
President,
wrong.
I would love
I think
you
it's
to
a
answer
very
the question
nasty
on your rhetoric
question.
and why you
I have
believe that
answered
black
the
voters
question.
should trust you with another
I
4
have
years.
been the best president for the black population since Abraham Lincoln. That's my answer.
Better than President Johnson, who signed the Voting Rights Act?
And for you to start off a question and answer period, especially when you're 35 minutes late because you couldn't get your equipment to work, in such a hostile manner, I think it's a disgrace.
Let me just ask a follow-up, sir, and then we'll move on to other questions here. Some of your own supporters, including Republicans on Capitol Hill, have labeled Vice President Kamala Harris, who is the first black and Asian American woman to serve as vice president and be on a major party.
She's Indian, black and Indian. Dude, Johnson, learn your history. Yeah, they have a hard time. They have a hard time with that. History doesn't go really well with some of these people. Yeah. Oh, he's not done yet. Oh no, he's got so much more. He called her out. He addressed the elephant in the room, and it was her. Yep.
Ticket as a DEI hire.
Yeah.
Is that acceptable language to you? And will you tell those Republicans and those supporters to stop it?
How do you define DEI? Go ahead. How do you define
diversity, equity, inclusion?
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Is that what your definition?
That is
give me a
literally
definition
the words
then. Would you give me a definition
DEI.
of that? Give me a definition.
Sir,
of
I'm
that.
asking you a question,
No,
a
you
very
have to
direct
define
question.
it. Define it for me, if you would.
I just defined it, sir. Do you believe?
See, this right here, they don't tell you in the news of what he said. Yeah, Trump is always prepared. He knows their game. She's 50% Indian and 12.5% black, but oh no, she's black Asian or Blasian, or is it Ak? Maybe she's Ak and not Blasian. Maybe she's Ak. YouTube didn't like it when I said Johnson was racist. Piece of shit. Yeah. Yeah, he's like, well, we have let's get on correct terms here, sweetheart. What version are we talking about here? Why don't you define diversity, equity, inclusion for me? Okay, we did this yesterday on this little channel. In case you missed yesterday morning, we broke down one of these DEI groups that we're not diversity, equity, inclusion. We're here to report the news. Yeah, they're in your kids' bodies. That's what they want. So this right here, oh yeah, he's laying into her. Let's define it. Let's define it first. How are you defining it? Because once we get the terms right, then we can continue on with the conversation. If not, then you're just rude.
Believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is only on the ticket because she is a black woman?
Well, I can say no. I think it's maybe a little bit different. So I've known her a long time indirectly, not directly very much, and she was always of Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she...
He's not lying. DEI is better referred to as communism. Yeah.
She wants to be known as black.
Yeah,
so I don't know,
true.
Is she Indian or is she black?
She has always
But
identified as a black woman. She went to a historically black college.
That doesn't matter. See, she won't let him finish because he's calling her out again. Slammed.
Respect either one, but she obviously doesn't, because she was Indian all the way, and then all of a sudden she made a turn and she became a black person.
Just to be clear, sir, do you believe
I think somebody should look into that too when you ask continue in a very hostile, nasty tone.
It's a
As you continue in a hostile, nasty tone. She said, DEI, only half a tarted explanation. Oh, God. He's just like, you and your nastiness.
direct question, sir. Do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris...
How about you ask me a direct question, woman? Like a real question. Why don't you ask a real question? I mean, like I said, if this was camel toe, do you think they'd be coming out at her hard like this? Do you think the first question out of their mouth would be like, we know that in the past you've claimed to be Indian. Why all of a sudden the big shift to becoming black as soon as you started running for president in the past few years? Oh, they would never ask that kind of question. Weird, huh?
is a DEI hire, as some Republicans
I really don't
have
know.
said.
I mean, I really don't know. Could be. There are some, and there are plenty. I know this lady right over there, Harris, is a fantastic person who just interviewed me at length, and we had a great interview, I think, and I heard you got very good ratings on that
Well,
interview.
you told me it was the longest one of your life, so we had a good discussion. Look,
Amazing, huh? Amazing, huh? He was just like, I believe this young lady over here. We had a really good discussion. I think it was over an hour. But see, now she's in a room with the sisters. And they've got all their notebooks with all their talking points and all the things that they want to try to hammer him on. These are their talking points. That's all it is, talking points. And again, he was brought here under false pretenses.
I want to talk about why you're here today. I mean, it is not lost on us how divided we are as a country. And
he came here under false pretenses. Remember what he said at the very beginning. You brought me here under false pretenses. The reason I came here today was because you told me, and one of the reasons why my people agreed to this is because we would be having a sit down and a conversation with Joe Biden, or we would be having one with. Then it changed to camel toe, and here I am. And the minute that I show up, your equipment can't even work. It's like very unprofessional, unbecoming of you're trying to show yourself as being professional, yet you're being the most unprofessional people ever. For him to show up, and it would be like showing up and handing him, a Chick-fil-A sandwich for dinner. Showing up to dinner and then you give him a Chick-fil-A sandwich. Nothing wrong with Chick-fil-A, but don't you think you'd want to, give them the nice plates and not paper plates? Unless it was like a barbecue or something, that's a little bit different. Like if you're inviting someone over for a barbecue, you don't go after them like that. That's just ridiculous. Stupid.
As you were coming today, we really got to see that we were divided along the lines of race.
You're divided along the lines of race. See, this is the problem. He is not divided. He knows exactly where he stands. And these people right here, these three ladies up on the stage, are making it about racism. That's it.
Along the lines of gender. And there is this question of, in this moment where we are, why come here? What is your message today?
My message is to stop people from invading our country that are taking, frankly, a lot of problems with it. But one of the big problems, and a lot of the journalists in this room I know and I have great respect for, a lot of the journalists in this room are black. I will tell you that coming from the border are millions and millions of people that happen to be taking black jobs. You had the best
What exactly is a black job, sir?
A black job is anybody that has a job. That's what it is. Anybody that has a job.
All right.
And
Mr. President,
they're taking the employment away from black people. They're coming in, they're invading. It's an invasion of millions of people, probably 15, 16, 17 million people.
He's like, I'm just going to go off on a Trump speech.
And
I ain't got time for
everybody's
your
been
shit,
seeing what's
people.
happened. The first group of people, the black population, is affected most by that. And Kamala is allowing it to happen. She's the border czar. She's the worst border czar in the history of the world. There's never been a border czar like this. She's never even essentially been. She said she was there once, but not the right part of the border. So she was a border czar. She's done a horrible job. These people are coming into our country, and they're taking black jobs and Hispanic jobs. And frankly, they're taking union jobs. Unions are being very badly affected by all of the millions of people that are pouring into our country. And one thing, as we discussed, many of these people are coming in from mental institutions, from prisons, from jails. They're gang members in other countries.
Oh, my God.
Other countries are setting loose their prisoners. They're opening up their prisons and their mental institutions.
Yep.
And they're taking their bad people, drug dealers, gang members, and they're bringing them into the United States. And by the way, their crime rate is going down, and our crime rate is going to be a disaster.
Mr. President, I want to get into how you address some of the issues with black communities. And I say that plural because we live in communities of color that are different.
Communities of color that are different.
We don't vote the same, we don't think the same.
True.
It's not monolithic. So as you come here today, I want to talk about something that bursts. And this is the weight of the inflation on this country right now.
The weight of the inflation.
The nonprofit Money Management International recently released data from its mid-year analysis that we have found a 52% rise in people who are seeking counseling for being in credit debt. They're paying for food that is sky high on their credit cards, and now they can't pay that off.
Well, you can thank your current president for that. I mean, that's a pretty simple answer. What a softball question.
The credit counseling nonprofit MMI, as I said, is saying now that they've seen surges that they haven't seen since we were in a pandemic of people in financial trouble. Much of that falls on the shoulders of single moms, single black moms, when you look statistically. Yeah. How do you try?
What does it matter who it falls on? You're saying that this problem is a black thing? No, it's an American problem right now. Doesn't matter where you're from. Isn't that Bidenomics? Oh no, yeah. Well, of course, it's very Schumann down to pressure. So yeah, that one.
Turn it around. What's your plan for the black community when it comes to money?
So first of all, it's very hard to hear you for whatever reason because of the fact that they have bad equipment. Because I guess this woman was unable to get the right equipment. But it's very hard for me to hear you, but I can hear every other word. It's very difficult, actually. But so I don't know if they can fix it or do something with it, but I'll do the best I can with it. The inflation is absolutely destroying our middle class, our working class, virtually every class. Inflation is a disaster in our country. Inflation is a country buster. It breaks every country. And we had, in my opinion, the worst inflation we've had. They say it's 58 years, but I think it's much more than that. It's been devastating. And if you just take a look at a lot of things they don't include, like interest rates. Interest rates went from 2.4% to 10%, and you can't get the money. People can't buy houses. They no longer have the American dream. Young people, young black people, they don't have the American dream anymore. They can't buy a house. They can't borrow the money because of the cost of the money. They can't buy it because of the cost of housing, because of the cost to build it, because of inflation. Inflation is a disaster, and it's destroying our country, and it's destroying the black community probably as much or more than any.
What's your plan?
You know what we have to do? We have to bring down the cost of energy, and that's going to bring down the cost of inflation.
That's it. That's it. See, you have to, you slapped her in the face. Yeah. You have to understand, Biden's coming up there without a teleprompter. He doesn't know the questions they're going to ask him at all. He is doing every single bit of this off the cuff. Every single bit of what he does is completely off the cuff. If you think that this old man is mentally slow, wow. He's quick. Bring down the cost of fuel, and you will see inflation decline. They don't know that he's done it once. No, they don't. See, this is the problem. They've been so focused on Russia and all this other crap that they're not paying any attention to the work that he actually does. It's like for every bad thing that they can bring up against him, anything that they want to say about him, they fail to recognize all of the things that he has done. For each one of those bad things, he's done at least 20 good.
It all started with a bad energy policy.
Yes.
By Joe Biden.
Yes.
By the way, just if I might, I was running against a man named Biden. You probably saw that. And he was losing very badly in the polls. And then he had a rather bad debate. I would say it was a bad debate. I would say it was one of the worst debates in history. And his poll numbers crashed. And instead of saying, let's keep going and maybe something happens the other way, they said, oh, we're going to replace him. Let's just replace him. That's like you're in a fight. A prize fighter's in a fight. He's not doing what you say, let's bring in another fighter. So our whole campaign was steered toward him. And now we have to steer it to him. But ultimately, it's the same because they have bad policy. They have policies of open borders, unbelievable open borders, horrible energy policies. They want to get rid of, as you say, gasoline in cars. They want to get rid of oil. They want to get rid of efficient heating.
Mr. President.
Environmentally, what they're doing is killing our country. They're absolutely destroying our country. But the inflation is the thing that's hurting the black worker, the black population, and every other population within our country. Inflation is the worst it's been, I think, in over 100 years. And they'll fact check it. They'll say it's only 58. Whatever it may be, they don't add all the numbers. They don't add the really bad numbers, and you can check that too. But inflation, Harris, is absolutely destroying this country and the people in our country. Yes,
Mr. President, can I ask you another question
Yes.
that is also
Oh,
impacting
sure.
the Black Americans?
And that's very clear now. Good.
I'm sorry?
It's very clear. I hear you.
Okay. So Sonia Massey, someone from Illinois, an unarmed black woman, was shot.
Oh my God. Okay, I got to show you something. And now you guys have to keep an eye out for this, okay? You guys have to really keep an eye out for this because I'm going to point something out to you, but you really have to pay attention for it, okay? All right? You ready? Pay attention for this. Watch.
So what I wanted to say was the last time we spoke.
He grabs her water and then tightened the water bottle. There's the thought actually answering the question. Amazing. Just keep an eye out.
Some words that were prophetic.
He's got his water bottle over there, but he reaches over, grabs her water bottle and tightens it and sits it back down. Oh yeah. Keep watching for it because you're gonna see him do this thing live. It's gonna be awesome. All right, here we go.
The other day in her home by a deputy sheriff. The deputy has since been charged with murder. You said police would get immunity from prosecution if you win. Why should someone like that officer have immunity, in your opinion?
Immunity?
Immunity.
I don't know the exact case, but I saw something, and it didn't look good to me. It didn't look good to me.
That's all he has
Are you
to say.
talking with the water, right?
Yeah, well, police unions are not backing this person either.
Okay.
But again, why would...
They're going to be charging the officer. I guess they're charging the officer.
So why should he receive immunity?
Well, he
never
might
said that.
not. I mean, it depends. It depends on what happens. I'm talking about people that are much different cases than that. We need people to protect ourselves. And by the way, in Chicago, as an example, a few weeks ago, July 4th weekend, they had 117 shootings and 17 deaths. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. We need to have our police officers have the respect and dignity back. In this particular case, I saw something that didn't look good to me. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all.
So, can you get a little more specific back to the immunity question? Who would make those
Well, right now, for the most part, people are protected by their unions, by their police unions, or by their police departments.
He's right.
But I'm saying if I felt, or if a group of people would feel that somebody was being unfairly prosecuted because the person did a good job maybe with crime, or made a mistake, an innocent mistake. There's a big difference between being a bad person and making an innocent mistake. But if somebody made an innocent mistake, I would want to help that person.
What would those exceptions be? What would determine
You go after
Yes.
somebody, and it's a very close call, and it's very dangerous. And they have the policeman's life and woman is a very difficult thing, because sometimes you have less than a second to make a life and death decision, and sometimes very bad decisions are made. They're not made from an evil standpoint, but they're made from the standpoint of they made a mistake.
So I want to follow up really quickly. I find it interesting because you do talk about reining in prosecutors, especially when it comes to prosecutors that are prosecuting you.
No, it's whenever you have overzealous prosecutors that are going after people that they shouldn't be going after. Like overzealous prosecutors would have been some going after a particular Kyle Rittenhouse. That was a little overzealous, don't you think? Karen Reed, you think that was a little overzealous? And just a constant attack and having to defend yourself is completely different.
Why doesn't that skepticism apply to law enforcement?
Well, I've been prosecuted because I'm a political opponent of two people that have weaponized our justice system.
Oh, that threw her off, didn't it? I've been prosecuted because I'm a political opponent. That's it. Because it wasn't until he started running that they decided to come after him. Amazing, huh?
I've been prosecuted. I just won the big case in Florida. Everyone said that was the biggest case.
Oh yeah, that shut her up really quick, didn't it? Oh,
it was the most difficult case, and I just won it. Now Biden has a similar case, except much worse. I was protected under the Presidential Records Act.
Yes.
Biden wasn't, because he wasn't president at the time.
Oh.
And he had 50 years worth of documents, and they ruled that he was incompetent, and therefore he shouldn't stand trial. And I said, isn't that something? He's incompetent and he can't stand trial, and yet he can be president. Isn't that nice?
Mr. President,
but they released him on the basis that he was incompetent. They said he had no memory, and he was a nice old guy, but he had no memory, and therefore we're not going to prosecute him. I won the case, and it got very little publicity. I didn't notice ABC doing any publicity on it, George.
Oh, slam.
We covered you
George
extensively, sir. I'd
Slopadopoulous.
love to move over on to different topics.
I didn't notice you
now.
do any publicity on it at all. I won the case, the biggest case. This is an attack on a political opponent. I have another one where
Sir,
I
if
have
you
a
don't mind,
hostile judge.
we have you for a limited time, sir. I'd love to move on to different topics.
No, you invited me here. I'm going to say whatever the hell I want to. You invited me here under false pretenses. Yeah. You're the one lady that took the gloves off at the beginning. You came off, you started being rude and obnoxious, and you want respect. Don't attack me to something I was invited to and then command respect. You ain't going to get it.
Excuse you, you're the one that held me up for 35 minutes, just so you understand.
Damn. Wow. Yeah. You showed no respect towards me. You think you deserve respect now? Screw you, woman.
If we can move on now to the state of the race, sir, I want to get back to the campaign. Senator J.D. Vance is your running mate. He's had a lot of controversy lately, and I want to read you a few things that he has said in the past. He said the Democrats...
Oh, boy. Why don't you ask J.D. Vance about it? You got a problem with J.D. Vance? Why don't you ask him about it, sweet cheeks? That's what I tell her.
Democrats running the country are a bunch of childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and the choices they've made. And so they want to make the rest of the country miserable too. He's not talking here about how great it is to be a parent. He's attacking what he says are the choices people are making to not have children. Did you know that he had these views?
Really? You're going to ask me about somebody else's views? Is it true? Then why are you worried about it? Is it not true? Then why are you worried about it? Why don't you ask J.D. Vance? And why don't you put the whole phrase into context? Put the whole thing into context, because you're asking him something. Do you know his favorite color? Bet they don't.
About people who do not have children before you picked him to be your running mate, and do you agree with him?
No, I know this. He is very family oriented.
Yep.
And he thinks family is a great thing. That doesn't mean he thinks that if you don't have a family, it's not. I know people with families. I know people with great families. I know people with very troubled families. And I also know people with no families. They didn't meet the right person. Things happen. You go through life, you don't meet the right person.
But he's not just talking about families here. He also says that people that don't have children should get less votes than those that do.
I'm just speaking for myself.
Is that your
and I
campaign
think
position?
He's speaking for himself and not for J.D. Vance. There you go. If you want to know something about J.D. Vance, why don't you ask him? Oh, that's right. Because it's easier to attack somebody whenever you can do it behind their back. Amazing. Weird, huh? Weird. Talk about weird.
Speaking for him too. He strongly believes in family, but I know people with great families. I know people with not great families that don't have a family. And the people without the family are far better. They're superior in many cases, okay? He's not saying they're not. What he's saying is that he thinks the family experience is a very important thing. It's a very good thing. But that doesn't mean that if you grow up and you grow older and you don't meet somebody that would be wonderful to meet and would have been good, that that's a bad thing. He's not saying that. My interpretation, you'll have to ask him, actually, but my interpretation is he's strongly family-oriented. But that doesn't mean if you don't have a family, there's something wrong with it.
Just one last point, and then we'll move on. Just one of the bedrock principles of American life is one person, one vote. Senator J.D. Vance has suggested that someone who has children should have more votes than a person who does not have children.
When? What are you talking about, woman? Or are you just making shit up now? I think she's just making shit up.
I just want to be clear here. Is that the position of your campaign?
Well, no, but it's not something I have ever heard before. I can tell you this. Right now you have illegal aliens coming into our country, many from prisons and many from mental institutions, and they want to give them votes. I don't think they should have votes. They came into our country illegally, and they're taking the vote away from all of the people in this room that have been here a long time, that have worked hard, that in many cases,
right,
and you'll see this happening. If I'm not elected, you're going to see it happen. If I am, you're not going to have any problem. But you're going to see it happening a long time. You're going to see the people in this room and people outside of this room are going to be losing their jobs to people that have come into this country illegally.
Mr. President, can we stay with just kind of the state of the race right now? Because I felt like that vice president question, candidate question was right in there with that.
No. How is it in there with that? You invited me here. First, on false pretenses. Two, now you're just going on the attack of me. How rude. But go ahead.
So let's talk about J.D. Vance for a little bit.
Why?
He's had some stumbles out of the gate. I don't know if you're hearing what we hear as reporters, but it's...
Oh, you mean the shit that you make up as reporters? So that was on the news this morning. And I'm just like, I'm not even going to read it because this is made up crap. 8.1. What is that, Northern or Eastern?
It's been a tough couple of weeks for him. Why did you choose J.D. Vance?
Why
did you choose him? And I'm having a hard time hearing too. I know everybody out there can, but it's hard.
I'll tell you why. I chose him because he's a very strong believer in work and the working man and woman, and especially the working man and woman who have been treated very unfairly, because you have many of them in this room. But you have many of those people, they were treated very unfairly. They worked very hard and they were treated unfairly. He wrote the book that became a bestseller. The movie became a smash hit. He's a very smart guy without the benefit of having a family that has contacts, like a father that was well connected. He got into Yale Law School. He graduated in 2 years from Ohio State, summa cum laude.
On his merits?
I mean, you take a look at, his career has been an amazing career.
See, he did this in spite. J.D. Vance did all of that in spite of poor upbringing, of not having a solid family, of having a drug-addicted mother. He did all of that in spite of. Amazing. And that's why he brought him in. Really weird, huh? It wasn't because he ticked all the boxes. He didn't check all the boxes of being a female or being of some specific color. He got him because of the merits. Wow. Interesting. Interesting color scheme of the women, not red, white, and blue, but pink, black, and baby blue, and looks like a full-on attack of Trump. Yeah.
He started off at a level with a difficult family situation, very difficult with the mother and the father and everything else. He ends up going to Yale Law School and was one of the top students, became the head of the law journal. I mean, that's an amazing thing. He's a 4-year, he was in the military with great distinction for 4 years, got out, went into business, became successful in business, very successful in business, actually, did public offerings and other things. And I have to believe in that. I mean, he's somebody that was born in a rough situation. Most of the people know that situation because it was very well documented in his book. And I have a lot of respect for somebody that can get into Yale and become one of the best students in Yale, that meets a young woman at Yale who was also outstanding, and they get married, they have a beautiful family, but he had he's made himself an amazing life. He then goes to Ohio, lives in Ohio, and he had my endorsement. That helped. But he wins the Senate. He becomes a United States Senator. So he's a United States Senator. And so, Harris, like I respect you for your success, I respect people for their success.
Yeah.
The reason I asked the question is because the last time you and I sat and talked was the day that you were shot. We'd been together for much of that day. You left to go to Butler, Pennsylvania, and we didn't know what was next.
Yeah.
And 2 days after that,
I cannot understand your microphone.
I know
is so
it is really hard for me to understand you too.
I can understand you perfectly.
Because she's closer.
I can understand.
Happy to hear that, sir.
But I can't
Really happy to hear
understand,
that.
Harris.
I have a few more questions.
Because of the distance, and the mics are really in lousy shape, but I cannot understand
So,
what you're saying.
So what I wanted
there he
to
goes.
say was
He
the
just
last
grabbed
time we
water,
spoke,
tightened it,
you
set
said
it back
some
down.
words that were prophetic because I asked you who you wanted to choose for vice president.
Yeah.
And you said normally it really wouldn't matter what they would bring. You choose somebody that you think has a future, that sort of thing. But you said these words 3.5 hours before an attempted assassination on your life. You told me that bad things happen, Harris. And that's why this decision is important this time. Bad things happen. You said it twice. When you look at J.D. Vance, is he ready on day one?
Yeah.
Does he what?
Ready on day one, if he has to be.
I've always had great respect for him, and for the other candidates too. But I will say this, and I think this is well documented. Historically, the vice president, in terms of the election, does not have any impact. I mean, virtually no impact.
Yep.
You have 2 or 3 days where there's a lot of commotion as to who, like you're having it on the Democrat side, who it's going to be. And then that dies down, and it's all about the presidential pick. Virtually never has it mattered. Maybe Lyndon Johnson mattered for different reasons of what we're talking about, not for vote reasons, but for political reasons, other political reasons. But historically, the choice of a vice president makes no difference. You're voting for the president, and You can have a vice president who's outstanding in every way, and I think JD is. I think that all of them would have been, but you're not voting that way. You're voting for the president. You're voting for me. If you like me, I'm going to win. If you don't like me, I'm not going to win.
I'm going to get my JD Vance question in.
JD Vance?
I'm going to get my JD Vance question in. To your point and to Rachel's point, he, has a lot of opinions about childless women like myself or divorced people like yourself. Do you think, well, I mean, my point
at
is
least
here.
it was said in a friendly manner.
My point is, do you think the Republican Party is getting a little bit too judgy about people's lives?
No, too
about
judgy.
Abortion, or
What
when
the?
you think about
Is this a serious question? You think that people are getting a little too judgy about people's lives, woman? But she took offense to being childless. Don't be judging on me. Oh boy, sweetheart, this isn't working out. This isn't going to work out for you. Her own insecurities is what's driving this question. Oh, you were just banned from leaving comments on YouTube for making serious, non-offensive comment opposing the boxer in the Olympics that made the Italian lady cry. Oh, you mean the dude that beat the hell out of the lady? Yeah, I saw that. There's a reason why I'm not covering the Olympics, right? Because I think it's a scam. It's a sham. Never will I support the Olympics. So yeah, everybody can be sitting there screaming "Go USA," all this kind of crap. I don't care. I think it's a scam and a sham. I got burned out of it. Hell, whenever they were here in Georgia. Yeah, I avoided that like a plague. When you get banned, you can still comment in live chats for some reason. I guess. I don't know. Yeah.
what JD Vance is saying?
I don't think, look, I think that the Democrat Party is really the one that has the problem. I think
Yes.
they're radical on abortion because they're
Yep.
allowing abortion in the 9th month. They're allowing the
But I
death.
think it's
They're
about
allowing
freedom,
the
right?
death of a baby after the baby is born, based on
Sir,
the
that
governor
is
of
illegal in
Virginia.
every state in the
That's
country.
Based on the governor of Virginia,
Executing a
they're
baby in
allowing the
every
death
state
of
in
the
the country
baby
is illegal.
after it's born.
It's a
They're
crime.
allowing abortions in the 8th and 9th month. of
Well, Democrats
pregnancy.
have denied-
I think they're right. And
But Democrats have denied it. No, this is what they want to have happen, and he said, it's up to the states, sweetheart. It's up to the states. It is not up to the federal government anymore. You lost. Don't worry, sweetheart, because you ain't got no man. You ain't going to have no kids. You don't have to worry about it. So what does it matter? It's your body, your choice, and look what you did with your body. Just saying.
And I think the Republican Party is actually much less. I think I've made them much less radical, perhaps. But the Republican Party, what we're doing is bringing it back to the states where everybody wanted it. Democrats, Republicans, liberals, conservative, everybody wanted abortion brought back. They didn't want Roe v. Wade in the federal government. They wanted it, everybody.
But the
wanted
majority
it
of
back.
Americans oppose
Excuse
Roe
me.
v. Wade being
They
overturned.
don't
Multiple
know
polls have
about
showed that,
this
sir.
right now.
No. Stop making up crap now. Reagan shut down all the mental hospitals. Now they're all on the streets. Well, not true. I mean, he shut down quite a few of them. Yeah. They did get put out on the streets. You also have to understand at that point in time the reason why those mental institutions were shut down. It would be smart to go back and look at the history on all of that, of why those mental institutions were shut down. And I can name a couple of reasons off the top of my head. One, they were being used to incarcerate people. Instead of sending people to prison, they were managed to get into places like mental institutions, which could give them a chance of getting out much sooner. And go back out on the street and commit violent crimes. And also the abuses that were happening in mental institutions that were government-funded abuses. We're talking about things such as lobotomies, strapping people down into beds, injecting them with drugs, test subjects. The mental institutions were not very healthy. So those are two of them off the top of my head, but you'd have to look into more of the research of what was happening at the time that those mental institutions were shut down, and why they were shut down. It's an interesting thought, but yeah, was it a good idea? Probably not. But at the time, look at the times, and then maybe come back on that one. Yeah, not saying Ray what he did was good or right or correct. Just saying you have to compare it in totality of what was going on at the time.
Now they're voting. It brought it back to the states. Now I happen to believe in the 3 exceptions. Ronald Reagan believed with rape, incest, life of the mother. I do. I think most people do. I think most Republicans do also. But if you take a look, right now they're doing, it's an amazing thing, out of the federal government, it's in states, and people are voting. And I will say, Ohio is, let's call it a more liberal version, has been approved. Kansas, the same thing, a little bit surprising to a lot of people. But the people are now voting. And it's taking this issue that's been going on for 52 years and has torn our country apart, and it's giving it to the people to vote on. And they're voting. And
morning, Rosalind.
Many states have already voted. Others are in the process of voting. And it's bringing it back to the people and a vote of the people. And it's not at all radical. And again, you have to follow your heart. I happen to believe in the 3 exceptions. Most people believe in the 3 exceptions. Most Republicans believe in the exceptions. But they don't want to see an abortion in the 9th month or the 8th month. Almost everybody agrees to that. And they certainly don't want to see, in the case of the governor of Virginia, the former governor, I might add, who said, we set the baby aside and then we decide what to do. Meaning, what do? We execute the baby. That's a radical, horrible position. And some people want that. I don't want it. Most people don't.
Thank you. Can I just pivot really quickly to another question?
Wow,
about
amazing.
You brought up health, Harris. You're an active man. We see you golfing all the time.
Yeah.
But if you win, you'll still be president at 82, which is older than Biden is right now.
But not mentally. Look, mentally.
Here's the question.
He's shot. But most people.
Would you consider?
Most people. I know many people in their 80s and their 90s that are in great shape. Some of our greatest leaders. You look at throughout the world history, the greatest leaders, some of the greatest leaders in the world were in their 80s.
But here's the question. Would you consider stepping down if you felt that your health was declining? Or would you?
Oh, absolutely.
And who would make,
I think I'd know.
How would you make that decision?
I think I'd know. Look, if I came onto a stage like this and I got treated so rudely as this woman treated
Oh my goodness.
and I'm fine with it.
Got her.
Because she was very rude,
Got her.
sir. Very rude. That wasn't a question. She
Sir,
didn't
you
ask
can
me a
answer the
question.
question.
She gave a statement. That wasn't a question.
I repeated
You
your
can answer the
statement, sir,
question.
actually.
You said you would.
No.
Oh,
make that
absolutely.
decision
If I
to step
thought
down.
that I was failing in some way, I want people to be sharp. I'll go a step further. I want anybody running for president to take an aptitude test, to take a cognitive test. I think it's a great idea. And I took 2 of them and I aced them.
Well, can
got
I
them.
just-
I took 2 of them. But let me ask.
Yeah.
I would like to have people running for president, and I don't mean because they're 75 or 85. I think anybody running, I'd like to do it. People say it's not constitutional. I would like to have something passed where you can do it. I think we should know. I mean, I've watched what's happened in the last couple of years under this gentleman, and our country is a mess. We have inflation. We have the millions of people falling in. We have Afghanistan, which was the worst, most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. What he has done to our country, and her too, what they've done to our country, she has been a horrible vice president. She's considered the worst vice president in the history of our country.
Don't mean to interrupt you, but would you consider taking the cognitive test?
Mr. President.
I would love to
And
do
make
it
it public.
Well, I've already taken 2 of them, but I'll do it again.
Mr. President, how do you intend to...
I suggested, Harris, that let's take one I said, Joe and I
Just
will go
laying
and take
into
a
'em.
cognitive test.
Just
Now,
all
I do it
into
with
their
her
face.
too. I would do it with her also. You know what? She failed her law exam. She didn't pass her law exam, so maybe she wouldn't pass the cognitive test.
Mr. President,
Are you saying she wouldn't pass? Just to be clear,
I'm just giving you the facts.
to be clear, you don't think
I'm
Harris
just
would
how do
pass?
you
giving the
intend,
facts. She
and
didn't
look,
pass her bar exam, and she didn't think she would pass it, and she didn't think she was going to ever pass it. And I don't know what happened. Maybe she passed it. I
She
guess
did pass it.
There's a
She
man
did-
over
she
here. I
did in
think
fact
he
pass
passed
it.
the baby
Mr.
bar.
President, I would love to ask you about January.
He's not lying. They were totally unprepared for this because she passed the baby bar. She if it gives you any idea, it took what's her name? Kardashian. Kim Kardashian, like multiple tries to pass the baby bar. Okay. That gives you any context. He just hammered living bejesus out of her on that again. Oh, I'll say this again. Oh. This is like if Mike Tyson fought an infant. Yes, she did fail it. Exactly. But the news won't report any of this. Their report was how they got him right off the gate and he couldn't answer their questions. He's just like, oops, gang up on him. Yep, that's what they do. He's more on it than they are. Yes. Good morning. Good morning. Good to see you, Heidi. Again, fact check. It's beautiful.
January 6th. You've called yourself the candidate of law and order.
Yeah.
When Time Magazine asked you if you would consider pardoning all the rioters, you said, yes, absolutely.
Sure.
You called them
He just took her
patriots.
water.
140 police officers were assaulted that day. Their injuries included broken bones, at least one officer lost an eye, one had 2 cracked ribs, 2 smashed spinal discs, another had a stroke. Were the people who assaulted those 140 officers, including
Sweetheart, are you saying that he had a stroke because of this? This is going to be interesting because he's going to tell her the same thing that he said before. He said this multiple times, and I can pretty much understand what he's going to say. I'm not condoning violence in any way, shape, or form, but I'm going to take them each case by case, and you're picking out the worst of them. Why don't we talk about the ones that were invited into the Capitol, that walked in and were still arrested and are still incarcerated? That's what he's going to be looking at. Now, if someone actually did attack somebody, more than likely he would not give them any sort of amnesty on this. But that's what he said, is he wanted to review them each case by case. There's a possibility that none of them would get out. He would have to look at it case by case. Now let's talk about the death and injuries, the previous years of uncontrolled protests. Yeah. Why don't we talk about those injuries? Where people came into black communities and burned them down. Antifa came into black communities and burned them down. So why don't we talk about that? Those have never been addressed. Those people were let out by Kamala Harris. Why don't we talk about her aspect on this while her cities were burning in California? Why don't they talk about that? That's right. They won't. But let's attack the former president. And he's doing this with one arm tied behind his brain.
including those I just mentioned, patriots who deserve pardons?
It's not what he said.
Well, let me bring it back to modern day. Like about 5 days ago, we had an attack on the Capitol, a horrible attack on the Capitol. You saw the people that were protesting and spraying these incredible monuments, bells, lions, all these magnificent limestone and granite with red paint, red spray paint that will never actually come off, especially in the limestone. It will never, I'm a builder, I know about this stuff. It'll never, you'll see it in 100 years from now. They viciously attacked our government. They fought with police. They fought with them much more openly than I saw on January 6th. What's going to happen to those people? What's going to happen to the people in Portland that destroyed that city?
But sir, my question is on those.
What's going to happen to
my
the people
question is
that
on
tried
those
to bring
rioters who assaulted.
That's right. She won't answer the question. And just like he doesn't have to answer the question. So, yeah. What's going to happen to those folks? What's going to happen to them? Don't you think that they should be arrested, serve 4 years in prison, in solitary confinement, be abused? Don't you think that should happen? What? No. That, I guess it's not the same.
Officers.
You have to
would you pardon
what's
those
going to
people?
happen? Oh, absolutely, I would.
You
If
would
they're
pardon
innocent,
those?
If they're innocent, I would pardon them.
They've been convicted.
And by the way, the Supreme
No,
Court
they have not. They have not been convicted.
They were convicted by a very tough system. How come the people that tried to burn down Minneapolis, how come the people that took over a large percentage of Seattle, how come nothing happened to them? How come the people
But sir, we're talking about people that were seen
No,
beating
We're
officers
talking
with
about federal
flagpoles,
buildings.
dragging them down the stairs. They're on video. Have you seen that
Really?
video,
Oh,
sir?
really? Well, they
you would
shot-
pardon those. You would pardon those rioters.
They shot a
They
woman.
shot a young lady in the face who was protesting. They shot her in the face. You know, nobody died that day. You do know that. But people died in Seattle. Nobody died, but people died in
140
Minneapolis.
officers
Do you know
were
people died in
assaulted that
Minneapolis?
day.
And nothing happens, and nobody ever talks, and nothing happens to those people. But you went after the J6 people with a vengeance. And I'll tell you what about the cops that were, and I'm all for the police, as you know, but what about the police that are ushering everybody into the Capitol? Go in.
This
go in.
January
What about
6th,
that? Look,
this attack happened.
Nothing is perfect in life, but you have people from Minneapolis, you have people just from 5 days ago in Washington, D.C. They were having fistfights and fighting with the police. They were spraying and destroyed. They were desecrating.
They hate it whenever you turn it back on them.
monuments in Washington, D.C. 5 days ago, and nothing happened to them. And you can't have two systems of justice. That's why they went after me as a political opponent, because they felt they couldn't win without doing that. And we're going to win our cases, and we're going to be vindicated. But I have to spend a lot of time on that, and money. That's what they want. After the election, they won't care. Although in my case, I think they probably will, because the hatred is pretty deep. But I'll tell you, they went after me as a political opponent. That's never happened in our country before, and it sets a terrible, terrible precedent.
What do you do on day one if you win? What's your first thing?
What do? I close the border. And I do two things, because I can do a lot of things simultaneously. I close the border. We don't want people coming in. We want people to come in, Harris, but they have to be vetted. They have to be checked. They have to come in legally. I want people to come into our country, but they have to be vetted. They have to be checked. So when you say, what do? That, and I drill, baby, drill. I bring energy way down. I bring interest rates down.
Yep.
I bring inflation way down, so people can buy bacon again, so people can buy a ham sandwich again, so that people can go to a restaurant and afford it. Because right now, people can't buy food. Your grocery bills are up 40, 50, 60%, right? She's agreeing to me. Oh, she's agreeing. Thank you. I like you very much.
We are.
But it's true. Your grocery bills are up. And then they're mandating that you buy an all-electric car. You know, Elon Musk endorsed me, and he's a friend of mine. He's a good guy. He's a smart guy. But I'm against everybody having an electric car, okay? I'm very much against that. You have to be able to, if you want a hybrid or if you want a gasoline-propelled car. But, you know, we have more liquid gold, gasoline, oil, under our feet than any other country. More than Saudi Arabia, more than Russia, more than any other country. I want to use it. I want to use what we have. I want to bring down prices, bring down costs, and I also have to stop the invasion. And remember, they're taking your jobs. These people coming in are taking your jobs.
Project
Mr. President,
2025.
I think we have to leave it there by the Trump team.
All right.
So
Project 2025. Oh, Jesus, woman. He's already said, I don't know anything about this. I have nothing to do with it. So, yeah, they wanted to bring up this Project 2025, but they screwed themselves. You went to the butcher and bought 12 ounces of your steak for yourself, $22 plus a $2 tip to the butcher. Yeah, not cheap. And that's just for Chuck. It's expensive.
Leave it. Well, that is the last word. Thank you so much, Mr. Trump, for coming today and joining us.
Well, thank you very much.
They've been telling us.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody, very much. Great
Thank
honor.
you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
NABJ will email about details regarding the conversation with Vice President Kamala Harris in September. Thank you.
Oh yeah, now, we'll have Hamilton Harris here in September. Yeah, that's so that was his speech, and of course, that's not at all how they came across in the news media. That's not how it comes across in the news media because, well, they can't tend to tell the truth. See? So this is what they said, primarily due to sharp questioning by Rachel Scott. His appearance before the gathering of journalists turned remarkably contentious on Wednesday. You think. Well, you just saw maybe why it was a little bit contentious. You think it was right the way that they acted? Well, I'll let you guys think on it for a second while I go and get myself another cup of coffee. We'll be right back. We're going to take a little short coffee break. Go get yourself some coffee, some tea, some water, whatever it is you want. Go get it, grab it, love it, hold it. I'm going to get me some. See you in a couple.
Sandy shores, get a tan, Rambo the orangutan. Driving a golf cart, oh man, Rambo is half crazy, yes he can. Well, that SOB's a sight to F and C. Oh, Rambo's rolling, as the sun he's free at last. While Shizzy has his coffee, these two are having an effing blast. Whoa, Rambo's rolling, as the sun he's free at last. While Shizzy has his coffee, these two are having an effing blast. Shizzy on the dunes, coffee in hand. Rambo is a loon, and Shizzy is, well, that is too dirty to say here. Shizzy on the dunes, coffee in hand. Rambo is a loon, and Shizzy is a, that is too dirty to say here, Oh, Rambo's rolling, as the sun he's free at last. While Shizzy has his coffee, these two are having an effing blast. Otters in the surf, hummingbirds in the sky. Rambo honks the horn and spits in Shizzy's eye. Oh my! Oh, Rambo's rolling, as the sun he's free at last. While Shizzy has his coffee, these two are having an effing blast. Oh, Rambo's rolling. Rambo takes a turn, driving to the wave. Otters wave their paws, telling Rambo, not sure, but if you could understand, Otter, it probably wasn't nice. Rambo takes a turn, driving to the waves. Otters wave their paws, telling Rambo, not sure, but if you could understand, Otter, it probably wasn't nice. Oh, Rambo's rolling, as the sun he's free at last. While Shizzy has his coffee, these two are having a effing blast. So here's to Rambo, otters and hummingbirds by the edge of the...
All right, I'm back. Oh yeah, it's that time. I told you this was going to be happening today. Oh yeah. So these are some of the tunes I've been working on, just to give you an idea of a couple of them that I've been putting together. I like this. Just check it out. Pretty cool, huh? Oh, there's more. I got a couple of them that I've been working on for a little bit of time. And some of these are good, some of them are bad.
In the heat, we're swaying, baby, under the sun. Oh yeah, city lights are dancing, just begun. Trash the rules, we own the summer street. Come on, loving in the microwave, feel the beat. Lady screaming.
This one right here is one that I just finished last night.
The lights were low and brown. Found myself a corner. Drink away my blues.
Here it is. Full song. So tell me, you guys liking this? Love the AI female voice. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Till down, players on stage tonight. The lights are low and brown. Found myself a corner to drink away my blues. When a loudmouth stranger said, "Son, I don't like the look of you." Oh, it's a long way down to that county jail, from a dive bar brawl to a lonesome cell. I won that fight, but it didn't go so well. Now I'm paying my dues in a full county jail.
Oh yeah.
Traded blows, cursing, bottles hit the floor. He swallowed one left hook, I gave him 3 or 4. The barkeep called the sheriff, lights flash, sirens wail. I stood there grinning, but my freedom's up for sale.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it's a long way down to that county jail, from a dive bar brawl to a lonesome cell. I won that fight, but it didn't go so well. Now I'm paying my dues in a full county jail. They slapped those cold steel handcuffs round my weathered wrists. I left and told the deputy it don't get worse than this. But deep inside I knew this night sealed my fate. From the whiskey bar to the county yard blues, never felt so great.
Oh, I am.
Oh, it's a long way down to that county jail, from a dive bar brawl to a lonesome cell. I won that fight, but it didn't go so well. Now I'm paying my dues in a full county jail.
Well. Good to see you, House Lady. So if you like that one, now that one I just put together a couple of days ago. All right. Now this one I put together last night after I got done with the stream. I was like, I think what I said was I wanted something that was a specific style of music about zombies. So this is a song about zombies. Just the lyrics are just too funny. Let's see.
Broken doors and shattered walls, ghostly whispers through the halls. Fleshy tasters in their veins, they rise again to hunt for brains. Midnight shadows slow and crawl, creeping through the darker sprawl. Hungry souls, no chains can bind, craving flesh that they will find. Zombies in the night, running from the light, eating brains they fight, till the morning's bright. Empty eyes and lifeless stares, echoes fill the vacant stairs. Taste the flesh that drives their quest, hunger.
And then I started adding a little bit of jazz licks to it.
Broken doors and shattered walls, ghostly whispers through the halls. Fleshy taste is in their veins, they rise again to hunt for brains. Midnight shadows slowly crawl, creeping through the darkened sprawl. Hungry souls, no chains combined, craving flesh that they will find. Zombies in the night, running from the light.
Well, and I thought those were all good, but then I said, you know, I needed to have something that was a little happier, just a little bit happier. So I got something that was a little bit jazzier for you guys, and this is what I came up with.
In the heat, we're swaying, baby, under the sun. Oh yeah, city lights are dancing, just begun. Trash the rules, we own the summer street. Come on, loving in the microwave, feel the beat. Ladies screaming, wanting a love affair. Yeah, yeah, bodies are bouncing, fingers in your hair. Slide on in, 808 kicks hard like thunder. Night so dark, gotta keep from going under. Oh no, summer loving hot and wild.
So that's what I came up with initially. But the problem was the lyrics were really weird. They didn't make a whole lot of sense. Like loving in the microwave, like who wants to love in a microwave? So I came up with a little bit more of better lyrics. And this one came out pretty good.
In the heat, we're swaying, baby, under the sun. Oh yeah, city lights are dancing, just begun. Trash the rules, we own the summer street.
So that one was pretty good. And then I got it a little bit darker.
In the heat, we're swaying, baby, under the sun. Oh yeah, city lights are dancing, just.
So a little more of a dance. This one turned out pretty good too.
In the heat, swaying, baby, under the sun. Oh yeah, city lights are dancing, just begun. Trash the rules, we own the summer street. Come on, loving in the summer air, feel the beat. Ladies screaming, wanting another affair. Yeah, yeah, bodies are bouncing, fingers in your hair. Slide on in, sway and slick, hard like thunder. Night so dark, gotta keep from going under. Whoa, now.
So that was one of them, and it got better.
In the heat, we're swaying, baby, under the sun. City lights.
So different groove to it, different groove, and then this.
In the heat, we're swaying, baby, under the sun.
And then I had to change some of the tempos on these because the tempo wasn't hitting it right. So a little more groove.
In the heat, we're swaying, baby, under the sun. Oh yeah, city lights are dancing, just.
So a little bit getting closer to what I was after. Still a little too fast.
In the heat, we're swaying, baby, under the sun. Oh yeah.
Yeah, see, this one I didn't like too much, so I'm going to delete that one just because I don't like the groove of it. This one came out pretty good.
In the heat, we're swaying, baby, under the sun.
But it doesn't fit. It's better.
under the sun. City lights are dancing, just begun.
So it had a good groove to start out with, but I didn't like it. I was like, okay, it doesn't fit. So I removed that one also. And I got to this one. This one came out pretty good.
Under the sun, city lights are dancing, just begun. Trash the rules, we own the summer street. Come on, loving in the summer air, feel the beat. Ladies screaming, what in a love affair.
And that one turned out okay. And then I changed it up a little bit. It got better, and as it went on, but then once I got to this one, it changed a lot. This one came out pretty good. Oh, I got better ones.
We're swaying, baby, under the sun. Oh yeah. City lights are dancing, just begun. Trash the rules, we own the summer street. Come on. Loving in the summer air, feel the beat. Ladies screaming, want a love affair.
But then it got to that, and I was like, not quite there, but we're getting closer.
In the heat, we're swaying, baby, under the sun. Oh yeah. City lights.
And it just couldn't get it, but getting closer.
In the heat, we're swaying, baby, under the sun. Oh, yeah. City lights are dancing, just begun. Trash the rules, we own the summer street. Come on. Loving in the summer air, feel the beat. Ladies screaming, wanting a love affair.
Yeah, I think that one's got it.
Bodies are bouncing, fingers in your hair. Sweaty and sick, hot like thunder. Not so dark, gotta keep from going under. Whoa, now. Ladies screaming, want a love affair. Bodies are bouncing, fingers in your hair. Sweaty and slick, hot like thunder. Lights so dark, gotta keep from going under. Whoa, now. Oh, I love it, hot and wild. Feeling funky, getting rattled. Let's go, just slow.
So that one turned out to be better than I thought it would. And I hit this one here. It's crazy.
In the heat, we're swaying, baby, under the sun. Oh yeah, city lights are dancing, just begun. Trash the rules, we own the summer street. Come on, loving in the summer air, feel the beat. Ladies screaming, wanting a love affair. Yeah, yeah. Bodies are bouncing, fingers in your hair. Slide on in, sweaty and slick, hot like thunder. Lights so dark, gotta keep from going under. Whoa, now. In the heat, we're swaying, baby, baby, under the sun. Oh, yeah. City lights are dancing, just begun. Trust the rules, we own the suns and just begun. That's the dark, gotta keep from going under. Whoa, now. In the heat, we're swaying, baby, under the sun. Oh yeah, city lights are dancing, just begun. Trust the rules, we own the summer street. Come on, loving in the summer air, feel the beat. Summer loving, hot and wild. Feeling lucky, getting wild. Let's go, just going, pulses high. Loving you under a sunny sky. Yeah, in the jungle, neon fight. Singing whispers, midnight bite. Fighting hard, our souls ignite. In this funk, we'll take this fight. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Welsh Lady. I appreciate it. It is a good one.
Dissonant moments clashing sweet. In your eyes, the world's heartbeat. Together, baby, can't be beat. Summer nights get hot with me. In the heat, we're swaying, baby, under the sun. Oh yeah, city lights are dancing, just begun. Trash the rules, we own the
go. So this is the newest one I just started on. Sending your love to Shizzy.
Sun goes down, skies are fire, gas tank full, nights go high, engine roaring, streets alive, feel the rumble, feel the drive, jukebox playing classic tunes.
No, don't like it.
Moon is high, we're under June, leather jacket.
Yep, we're gonna delete that one.
Sun goes down, skies are fire. Gas tank full, nights go high. Engine roaring, streets alive.
Still not liking it.
Tires screeching, lights flash bright, small town streets under neon light.
It's okay.
Engine roars, wind in my
Basic.
hair.
Screeching like flash bright. Small town streets under neon light. Engine roars, wind in my hair.
Nope, not liking that one either. I think we've got one winner there out of both of those. So what would you like to hear? Man, that one I agree. Man, yeah, some of these are okay, but this one in particular, it was not hitting it right. Let's see. Why don't we take this one here with all its lyrics, and we're going to reuse the prompt, and then we're going to come up with a different style of music. So we got tires screeching, flash bright, small town streets under neon lights. Okay. Engine roars, wind in my hair, Friday night, no worries, no care. Diners packed, jukebox play. Greaser's got something to say. Convertible top down, feeling free, living life, buzzing like a bee, cruising down the road, cruising down the boulevard, heart thumping hard and fast. Friday night, we own the streets, rolling loud with that rockabilly beat. Hot rods, revs, slick back hair, girls laugh, county fair, midnight's coming, who keep time, moon's high, no sight. Just looking to see if there's anything in there that can be changed. Oh, nope, nothing really there, but it's gotten a rockabilly upbeat. So what in the hell is this? I've never heard this term before, so we're going to try it. What is funk? Spelled Phonk. So let's try funk, aggressive bass with some metal. Nah, not rap, not beat, not electric guitar, not acoustic guitar. Dreamy. Here, there we go. Friday Night Ride. Let's give it a try. Let's see what happens. I don't know what the hell funk is. I guess we're about to find out. Oh boy. You guys have about 10 minutes before I shut this mess down. If you guys got any style that you want to have happen, just throw it up there in the chat. We'll make it good. Here we go. I guess that's funk. Nope. That must be the funk. Nope, don't like any of those at all. Nope, just I don't like the funk. I don't know what the hell that is, but I don't like it. All right, let's try this. We'll try. how about we try removing the rockabilly? We'll use some different adjectives here. We got bass, dreamy. How about a little bit of intense? Okay. And we'll just change it to just give it a digit behind it. See what happens. Yeah. Melodic, tranquil. Too tinny? Yeah, I agree. Melodic and tranquil. Hey, we can add those. Melodic and tranquil. Melodic, tranquil. And how about we... What would you like here? Let's see. We got irritating. Yes, that sounded very irritating. Not that it was Oriental, it just was irritating. But we'll create this one here really quick. So we got Friday Night Night 2, Tense Tranquil, and then we're going to remove all of these lyrics here. And we're going to come up with some lyrics. Well, let's see. Playing with puppies and kittens. So we want to generate some lyrics here. Playing with puppies and kittens. What do we got? And we're going to play these while we're waiting for it to create. Oh, here we go. Nope.
Small town streets under neon light. Interrooms, wind in my hair. Friday night, no worries, no care. Diners packed, jukebox play. Greaser boys got something to say.
That might work.
Convertible top down, feeling
We'll keep
free.
that one.
Living
Next one. Sounds like Dolly. All right, let's try this one. Nope, don't like that one at all. I mean, the beat was pretty cool, but we'll move that one to the trash. All right, let's see what we've got here. We got bass, dreamy, intense, melodic, and tranquil. Too tinny, nah, beat, right, it does, this is good. Yeah, this one we're going to try with this. It's called Puppy Kisses Nose. All right, let's try this. Let's see what happens. Puppy Kisses Nose. I have no idea. The stuff that it comes up with. Here we go. Sounds like 80s bubblegum.
So bright, little balls run fast.
I like it.
Moments last. Kitten purring soft, climbing
so
up
cheesy.
the loft. Whiskers twitching glee, playing wild and free. Puppy kisses nose, kitten strike a pose. Joy in every fur, life's a gentle blur. Chasing after.
See, you can't be unhappy with that. That just makes me laugh. Oh, all right. So here's kids pop, bubblegum music. You can see kids running around. Oh, but we're gonna mess you up now because we're gonna turn this into a dark goth metal song. And it's, oh, it was cutesy. That was the point. But we're going to take those lyrics and we're going to see how bad it gets. Oh, see, this is why you don't give me toys like this to play with, because I tend to tear them apart and make them dangerous. This is gonna get bad. We'll listen to Puppy Kisses Nose, the good version first.
Toys, pops bring purest joys. Kittens bat the strings, such delightful things.
See, that sounds really happy. Now we've turned it into a dark goth metal song.
Sunshine, morning light, puppy tail so bright. Little paws run fast, happy moments last. Sunshine, morning light,
Oh, this is.
puppy tail so bright. Little paws run fast, happy moments last. Kitten purring soft, climbing up the loft. Whiskers twitch in glee, playing wild and free. Puppy kisses nose, kitten strike a pose. Joy in every fur,
I like this one.
life's a gentle blur. Chasing after toys,
Oh man,
bring purest
but like the tempo.
kittens
It's not dark.
such
Oh, 07 non-music.
puppy kisses nose, kitten strike
Oh, we got it. That'll work.
pose. Joy in every
I know what you're looking for.
life's a
I know exactly what you're looking for, and let's see if we can do it. It's going to be let's see, it's a particular style, so it's going to be 60s, right? 50s, 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 surf, 50s surf, and let's see, it's going to be. I'm trying to think what the other style is. Surf is different places, they call it different things, but we're gonna say 50 surf shag. I think that might hit it close. They may change what it's called. But let's hear the next one we had, which was grunge metal, dark grunge metal polka.
so bright. Little paws run fast, happy moments last. Kitten purring soft, climbing up the loft. Whiskers twitching glee, playing wild and free. Puppy kisses nose, kitten.
There we go.
Sunshine, morning light.
I like this one.
Details so bright. Little
I like this
paws
better.
fast, happy moments last. Kitten purring soft, climbing up the loft. Whiskers twitching glee, playing wild and free. Puppy kisses nose, kitten strike a pose. Joy in every fur, life's a gentle blur. Chasing after toys, pups bring purest joys. Kittens bat the string, such delightful things. Puppy kisses nose, kitten strike a pose. Joy in every fur, life's a gentle blur. Chasing after toys, pups bring purest
Multiple ones.
joys. Kittens bat the string, such delightful things. Puppy kisses nose, kitten strike a pose.
So that one's pretty good, but what I did is I've changed and I flipped the script on it now. Now with that happy music, we're going to create a song that is about the devil chasing souls. With that same style of music. Reminds you of the Monkees? Yeah. I'm not agree with you. I'm lost slavery. Some of different reasons. That was a little Elvis-like, a little bit. Here we go.
Silent footsteps in the night, creeping shadows, no light. Whispers echo in your mind, running fast, nowhere to hide. Dark flames burning wild. Silent footsteps in the night, creeping shadows, no light. Whispers echo in your mind, running fast, nowhere to hide.
Oh, this is awesome.
Dark flames burning wild, after roaring like a child. Cold eyes that never blink, feels like
I like this one.
the devil's chasing human souls. Round and round the terror rolls. In the darkness he will go. He won't stop until he's full. Lost in thought and haze, hunting beats until your days. Each step that you take brings you closer to your fate. Treads grip on the go like a puppet in a show. Turn and twist, you can't break free. His laughter's all you see.
I like this one.
The devil's chasing human souls. Round and round the terror rolls. In the darkness he will go. He won't stop until he's full. Dark flames burning wild, after roaring like a child. Cold eyes that never blink, feels like you're on the break. The devil's chasing human souls. Rider on the break, feels like you're on the break. Devil's on the break. The devil's chasing human souls. Round and round the terror rolls. In the darkness he will go. He won't stop until he's full. Lost in the fog and haze, hunted beast until your days. In a step that you take through and pull, he won't stop until he's full. Oh.
This is good.
Silent footsteps in the night, creeping shadows, no light. Whispers
I like
echo in
that.
your mind. Silent footsteps in the night, creeping shadows, no light. Whispers echo.
Okay, we got a slow country ballad here.
Fast.
footsteps in the night, creeping shadows, no light.
Nope. Clint Eastwood carrying a kitten.
Silent footsteps in the night, creeping shadows, no light.
Those are bad. Oh, they don't even match the. We're moving those. We're getting rid of those two. Sorry. Those last ones were pretty good. All right, we got one more. What do you guys want? Clint Eastwood carrying a kitten. Huh. I like that. Let's do this. Let's do Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood carrying a kitten. All right. Gotta spell that right. Carrying a kitten. There we go. And we're gonna generate some lyrics there. Let's get a what kind of style should we do? Should it be driving country? Driving country. Yeah, well, we'll fix that here. Country. Tough guy with a kitten walks through the town, grizzled face all weathered, never sees him frown. In his hands so gentle, a little furball snoozes, strong arm, soft as feathers, never gonna lose it. Clint and his kitten, oddest pair you'll ever see, hard as steel, but loving just like family. Folks, they gotta stop and wonder how a man so tough could cradle such a tiny thing with all that love. Whiskers twitch in slumber, eyes half closed tight. He's a cowboy tender in the night. Behind those eyes of granite, hard as soft as silk, with his furry sidekick in denim and in milk. Driving country. There we go. Driving country. And we need a steel guitar. Steel guitar. And let's add a little bit of a piano. A honky tonk piano. Honky tonk piano. Okay. What else we got there? A little honky tonk piano and some yeah, that should be enough. Honky tonk piano. I think that's right. Honky tonk piano. Well, let's do a dash in there. I think that's right. Honky tonk. Maybe. Great. Let's see. This should be interesting. He plays piano like Frank Sinatra. Clint Eastwood carrying a kitten. That's it. That's the name of the song. Here we go.
Tough guy with a kitten walks through the town, grizzled face all weathered, never sees him frown. In his hand so gentle, little fur.
Sounds a little bit like Loretta Lynn.
Strong. Tough guy with a kitten walks through the town, grizzled face all weathered, never sees him frown. In his hand so gentle, little
I just see big hair. The big hairspray.
Soft as feathers, never gonna lose it. Clint and his kitten, oddest pair you'll see. Hard as steel, but loving just like family. Folks, they stop and wonder how a man so tough could cradle such a tiny thing with all that love. Whiskers twitch in slumber, eyes are half closed tight. He's a cowboy tender in the night.
That one mess you
those eyes
up.
of
Throwing some
granite,
dubstep on you.
heart as soft as silk, with his furry sidekick in denim and in milk. Clint and his kitten,
Yep.
oddest pair you'll see.
Yeah.
Hard as steel, but loving just like family.
I'm liking that. Oh, this is good.
Tough guy with a kitten walks through the town, grizzle face all weathered, never sees him
I'm keeping
frown.
that.
In his hands
Keeping
so gentle, little furball snoozes, strong arm soft as feathers, never gonna lose it. Clint and his kitten, modest pair you'll see, hard as steel but loving, just like family. Folks they tough guy with a kitten walks through the town, grizzled face all weathered, never sees him frown. In his hand so gentle, little furball snoozes, strong arm soft as feathers, never gonna lose it. Clint and his kitten,
Country
honest
banjo.
pair you'll
Some,
see, hard as steel but loving, just like family. Folks they stop and wonder how a man so tough could cradle such a tiny thing with all that love. Whiskers twitch in slumber, eyes are half closed tight. He's a cowboy tender, tender in the night.
Yeah, Miranda.
Behind those eyes of granite, heart as soft as silk, with his furry sidekick in denim and in milk.
Tough guy with a kitten walks through the town, grizzle face all weathered, never sees him frown.
I love it.
In his hand so gentle, little furball snoozes, strong
I like
arms
this.
soft as feathers, never gonna lose it. Clint and his kitten, hardest pair you'll see, hard as steel but loving, just like family.
Yeah. I'm digging this.
Tough guy with a kitten walks through town, grizzled face all weathered, never sees him frown. In his hand so gentle, little furball snooze, strong arms soft as feathers, never gonna lose it. Clint and his kitten, hardest pair you'll see, hard as steel but loving, just like family.
Yeah.
Tough guy with a kitten
Yeah.
walks through the town.
Yes.
Grizzle face all weathered, never sees him frown.
There you still match the music. Of
In his
course.
hand so gentle, little furball snoozes.
Tough guy with a kitten walks through the town, grizzle face all weathered, never sees him frown. In his hand so gentle,
Yeah,
little
I still like this one the best.
Tough guy with a kitten walks through the town, grizzle face all
But not as
weathered.
good as these other ones. And this one.
tough guy with a kitten walks through the town, grizzled face all weathered, never sees him frown. In his hand so gentle, little furball snoozes, strong arms soft.
All right. I think I've entertained you and myself plenty. You like the banjo one intro? Yeah, the banjo with the intro, that's pretty damn awesome. Well, and see, I can take something like that with an intro and change the lyrics entirely and make it something completely different if I wanted to. But yeah, I agree. That one with the banjo and then the sound of the lyrics were actually pretty good. I like the vocals on it. Sometimes you just hit on it like crazy. But everybody, tonight, I have no idea what I'm doing. I may just take the night off for a change. It's been a very, very long week. And of course, we got the interesting stuff that's going to be happening next week. I guess I need to get all prepared for the virtual Democrat convention because they couldn't get enough people together, I guess, to put a vote down to vote her in. So they have to do it virtually. Does that show you how weak it is? Oh my God. Oh. It's going to be like that horrible pandemic stuff where, what was it? Garbot or whatever, where she started singing "We Are the World" or some crap like that. Or I don't remember what song it was, but they all got on Zoom and everybody was singing their little part. That was so cringe. Like really cringe. But yeah, it's good. It's going to be a shit show next week. Just saying, folks. And you know, I will call it out whenever I see it. But other than that, I'm going to send everyone over. Go check out the meme copium. He's got some new stuff that he's been talking about. He's been started covering some of these oddities in the morning. Everybody have it's going to be fun. It's going to be funny to watch next week. Got here late. Are you kidding me? Oh my God, too funny. Yeah, you know, let's take the wife out to dinner instead. No, I do that on Fridays usually. We get together, we go out to dinner, have a little bit of time all alone, and you know, then maybe later on I jump on with the Friday Night Live crew. But if some new interesting news comes out today during the day, just make sure you've got your notifications turned on. If something new comes out, something new and breaking, I'll try to break into it. I try to sort of keep my ear to the ground, usually while I'm working, to, you know, get these pieces of information out there so we have them. But imagine that's what it was. Yeah. Imagine all the stupid people getting together, doing a Zoom and singing. Imagine that. I don't have to. We saw it happen. Everybody have a wonderful day. And remember, you know, don't let the politics and all that kind of crap, you know, bring you down. It will get worse before it gets better. And it's to be expected, and just plan for it. Know that there's not much that you can control but your own actions. If you can keep your actions under control and behave, you know, you can usually have a pretty good outcome. If nothing else, you're able to handle an outcome. Be nice, and make sure you hit the thumbs up on the way out and on the way in. We will see you guys in the morning. If you don't see me tonight, peace, y'all.
Now I gotta call somebody to come get me because my car has turned into a spaceship and I don't know how to fly it. I'm not an astronaut.
But I gotta ask you about Kamala Harris. How you feel about her?
She's a piece of shit.